Buenos dias, YouTubers. Good morning, y'all. Uh, no tengo nada particularmente en mi mente esta mañana. Entonces, además les voy a dar el drama ordinario de mi vida. Y responder preguntas si tienen alguna. Dudoso, pero si las tienen. Robert. Hello, Robert. Hello, Robert. No particular agenda this morning. Nothing in my mind that is like burning golden hope Tara. Oh my god, you roasted the toilet. Yeah, it's just taking a shit. It's funny. The shit videos. I mean, these taking shit videos. You guys really like that, don't you? You guys really get into the office. I don't see the attractive, but I do what I do what you guys like. So I don't, anything you guys want to talk about? We love seeing the king on his throne. Well, thank you, Golden Terra. I appreciate that. That's nice. I kind of like sharing this space because it's a very meditative stuff. I mean, you sit down to shit. Usually, people have a newspaper or the best. Thanks, Robert. Usually, people have a. Am I usually gassy? Depends what I eat, I suppose. I had beans yesterday, so yeah, last night. Um, when you're taking a dump, usually you're reading a newspaper or something, right? But it's also if you just take a dump to take a dump, it's a very kind of calm space. It's a very calm space, you know. There's a Rick and Morty episode where Rick goes to a special dump toilet. The dump sounded pretty grassy and explosive. It's just a dump. It's just pretty regular for me. That was a good one. um, and he had to have this perfect space to be able to shit. I don't know about that, but I do enjoy my dumps in the morning. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Dumped drama. I mean, what can we guys talk? What do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys want to know about me? Ask away. Ask me any question you want. I'm an open book today. I don't have anything I need to discuss particularly, or I have it in my mind. I think everything's, I mean, but there's a lot of interesting things going on. If you want to know my opinion on them, I'd be more than willing to share them while I'm taking a dump. You know, you empty yourself for the rest of the day. Yeah, I only take one dump a day. I usually take it in the morning. My morning dump, that's my. Sometimes I take a cup of coffee before, and then I take my dump, or sometimes I take my dump and then I take a cup of coffee. Sometimes I take two dumps in the morning. It's like I take one dump, then I have a cup of coffee, and then I have a second dump. It's like the coffee moves my bowels to have a second dump. I have a big belly, so there's a lot of shit to unload. Am I lactose intolerant? No, I'm not actually. I eat everything. Mom used to say I eat fried cockroaches if I find them, which is actually true. There's nothing I haven't eaten. I mean, if you invite me to eat and you give me, XYZ shit burgers from Japan, I'll probably try them. That's a real thing, by the way. The Japanese invented a way to use shit to make burgers. Have you ever clogged the toilet? No, I've never clogged. Actually, you know that wrong. Now that you mention it, yes. I was in by the Bravo, the previous house, and I was playing with a little plastic dinosaur. And the plastic dinosaur fell into the toilet, and I tried to reach my hand in there to pull it out. And I accidentally flushed the toilet, so it went into the drainage pipes. And when it got to the drainage pipes, it just clogged the entire toilet system. So we had a clogged toilet for like a week or so until we could get it out. And it was totally my bad. It was like, But I've actually never shat so much that I've clogged the toilet. I think that's a myth. I don't think you can do that actually. I don't think, I think toilets are built for that. I mean, unless you're shitting like something very, if you eat a plastic dinosaur and then you shit it, um, then maybe that would happen. How did we take a dump? Well, what we would do is that we would actually shit, and then we would use the plunger to get the shit to move, because the toilet dinosaur was not a perfect fit for the pipe, but the dumps did clog on the toilet dinosaur. So what we needed to do is we needed to use the plunger to to move the dinosaur around in the pipe. Wouldn't go down, but it could be moved around, and then the shit would be liquefied, and it would go down. I am so natural. Well, I'm taking a dump in the morning. That's a pretty natural thing to do. I was making soup with the plant. Exactly. We made soup. We made like diarrhea out of the dumps, and then the shit would go down. But it was not a fun process. I mean, we did not have fun having to do that for a week until we got right at Robert. We did not have fun having to do that. 3 kids and my mother and my sister. I mean, that's like, whoa. And it was my bad. I threw the dinosaur in the dump. It fell in the dump. I didn't throw it in there. I just didn't watch where I was putting it, and it fell in the dump, and it just flushed it down. I love hearing talk about toilet experiences. Well, thank you, my dear. I don't mind talking about my toilet habits. Um, I'll share with you some of my deeper philosophies regarding toilet habits. Um, from a very early age, I always thought that the entire taboo on shitting in public and stuff is kind of weird. Because if you look at animals, cats, dogs, they don't care where they shit. They shit where. Cats are prudish. Cats don't like their smell. They will shit, and then they'll scratch the earth, and and if they don't have anything to scratch on, they'll try to cover it with something. I've actually seen that, like newspaper or something. Dogs are a lot dirtier. They don't give a shit. Literally, they don't give a shit. Um, but many animals, I mean, they have no problem taking a shit in front of you. Horses, cows, elephants. The predators are a little bit more cautious. What did you say? Oh. That's one of the reasons that makes me like, well, thank you, Robert. And then you said, wait a minute, these little cell phones are. A man is king when he is able to proudly talk about his dumps. Well, thank you, Golden Tar. Um, the um, the Bible, I think, says that we're all kings and queens if we follow. Yeah. Again, I don't have too many taboos. I don't have too many taboos. Murder would be one. Probably don't like to think about murdering anybody. But I would probably do it if I had to. If I had to defend my family or myself, I would probably do it. But it's not something I would like to do. But basically, most of our customs, shitting in a toilet room, when you have to go into a toilet to shit, that's pretty weird if you think about it. We built a whole room in the house just to take a shit. And it's something we all do all the time. Now, when you go to jail, you go to prison, you go to jail, you go to, some big, then everybody's rolled, the toilets are all next to each other, and you can see what the other guy is dumping is doing. Because you have to make sure you don't, have any um, contraband up your ass. So that taboo of having to dump in the toilet in the bathroom, separate from the rest of the house, is a very weird thing. It's not. People used to shit in their rooms. People used to, before there was toilets, people used to have a little pot under the bed, which they would shit, and then they would empty it through the window. And sometimes flying shits would fall on people's heads, especially in London, Paris. The really crowded cities were famous for that. Rome, I mean, that should be Henry. Romans, Romans had a very civilized way to shit. They had they had bathrooms, they had toilets, they had public toilets, and you would go to take a shit and talk with your friends about shit. Uh, there was no dirty homeless people in Rome. Everybody had access to a bathroom and flowing water. That was part of what made them civilized. Somewhere along the line, when Rome became Christianized, they lost that consciousness that everybody had to bathe and dump because the prudeness of it, the whole, we can't see their genitals. The Romans were ahead of their time, yeah. But I think, the Dark Ages, I mean, the Middle Ages, the so-called Dark Ages, begin because there is a bunch of social taboos built around the Judeo-Christian ethos. And you can see that historically. You can see, the witch burning, the Crusades, all that shit. The Romans were into money, slaves, and orgies, and the Colosseum. That was their thing. But when they become Christianized by Constantine, they get some really weird, crazy ideas in their heads, and they start burning books, and they start. Rome would have never burned. Well, they did burn the library of Carthage. It was a revenge burning. It was like, these guys beat the shit out of us in a lot of battles. We're going to destroy their whole culture, so there's nothing left. They put salt on the earth so nothing would grow. So maybe they were not so civilized after all. But as far as their city was concerned, as far as Rome itself, man, they had running water. Everybody had access to the bathroom. Slaves. They had a very specific caste system, which was not based on color, but on position. And wait, what are you saying, Robert? I have to eat. It was a pleasure. Could you dedicate this dump to me, please? Thank you, my friend. Yeah, sure. I'll dedicate this dump to you, man. Big hug to you as well. You too. Big hug, Robert. So, yeah. So they would come together in the sanitarium. I think they call them the sanitarium. Was that another name? Gymnasium. Gymnasium was schools. Sanitarium was hospitals. And then, how was the toilets called? Well, I don't remember. Anyways, they would come together, and there was a public toilet, and there was maybe a dozen holes to dump in, and it had running water because Romans had running water. They had heating. They could heat their houses. Very civilized. Anyways, they would shit, and the shit would come out, and people would be talking and having a fun time shitting together. That's what people did back those days. I don't know about the shitting habits of the Egyptians, but it would be an interesting video, though. How bad does my dump usually? If I eat a lot of meat, it's terrible. If I eat Kings in Rome, if I eat a lot of meat, my shit is terrible. If I eat vegetarian, like my kids, they're pretty light. They're not too bad. They smell like roses. I mean, the defecating process is about cleaning your body of toxins, and toxins have a bad smell because the system for us to recognize that it's not good for us makes it smell bad. That is the reason that corpses smell. Corpses are full of infectious toxins and diseases and bacteria and shit that can kill us. And it smells bad, so we don't necessarily eat them, especially human corpses. But on the other hand, we kill a cow, we let it stay for a few days over ground, and then we kill it. We cook it and we eat it. The cooking uh, eating cooked meat has another big anthropological function, which is to get rid of some of the bacteria that could be harmful, which are growing in the freshly killed animal or human. A lot of cannibals in those times. So yeah. So yeah, the shit smells bad because there's toxins that make it smell bad. You know, harmful bacteria. Whatever our body wants to get rid of. I love these types of lives. It's like when you're in the bathroom with your. I love these types of lives. Oh, shut. In the bathroom with you, will you drop your masterpiece? Yeah, exactly. Well, we are like in a Roman toilet. We are having a conversation with. I, I know you through my channel, but I don't know you. We haven't met personally. But it's like if you went into a public toilet in Rome and you had a dump and you spoke with your, neighbor that came to take a dump as well. Toilets were um, communal in Rome. Very sage, the Romans. And then the circus was to get all those really bad energies. You got anyone Latvian? Yeah, that's no big deal. It's no big deal taking it. It's this new world in which we live. Privacy's gone. There's no more privacy. The concept of privacy is just out. It's finished. Anybody with a Facebook account has surrendered their right to privacy because they're posting all their lives for everybody to see. Anybody can see it. You can click in the name, and there's going to be that person there, and everything they said, everything they posted, will be available at some point. There's no point in privacy, exactly. Actually, Luis Buñuel, the great filmmaker, made a very prophetic film where people used to shit in public and eat privately. Very weird thing. Everybody's lives are on social media, so may as well share every moment. About 20 years ago, when this internet shit started to come, I said to myself, we need to have our leaders, our owners, share every moment of their lives to see their moral content. They should definitely not be allowed the privilege of privacy because they're ruling over people. And if you're going to rule over people, people have a right to know who you are and why you're doing what you're doing. But of course, the part that I didn't calculate in that little scenario is that leaders are usually evil. And they usually want power for themselves, not for you. So they're not there to empower you as their subject. They're there to get for them. So the first thing they want to keep is their privacy. So that plan didn't work out. I wanted to run for president at some a while back, and my campaign was going to be that I would surrender my right to privacy, and I would have to shit in public like I'm doing now, and I would have to sleep under a camera, and my whole house would, or the White House or wherever I lived, would have to be uh, like the Big Brother mansion. I'd make a great president. No, I'd probably make a terrible dictator. That would be brutal. And I don't think I would like all the trouble that it brings with you. Being president is like being serial killer on the loose with all the benefits of it. Yeah, exactly. You would have to see the president taking a dump because they could be hiding something in that dump, you know, so that they would be totally vulnerable to public scrutiny. And um, they would have no chance to do anything like, betray their government or betray their people or have, underhanded alliances with other nefarious powers that we don't know. But the presidents are not really in power, though. They're not really powerful people. They're just pawns of a bigger um, uh, military uh, industrial complex. Military industrial complex was first identified by, I think it was Eisenhower, who Eisenhower detested the Germans. He abhorred the Germans. He wanted to get rid of the German race. He wanted to break the Germans in half. Have your family ever seen Willard in the Tongue? I've invited my dad to watch my videos. He doesn't watch them. My mom died. My kids know that I make these videos, so they don't give a shit. And the rest of my family's too prude. I may have a cousin that watches my dump videos because he's kind of weird. But I don't know if he does or doesn't. And if he did, he wouldn't tell me. He would just do it in secret and, you know, be glad that he's able to criticize me in secret for dumping on everybody. Do I ever guess I had my wife and kids? I don't have a wife. My kids are kind of borrowed from my sister. And do I guess them out? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I've let out some floozies on farting and stuff. So let me ask you this: what is this fascination with caca, with poop, poop? Where does that come from? What is the origin of your fascination with poo? That's interesting for me. That's of my interests. I like the origin of feelings and the origin of thoughts. Thoughts and feelings have an origin, and I fascinate myself trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out what the origin of things is, especially emotional things. Poop is definitely something we're doing. I love seeing you on those throne becoming. Yeah, you answered the question. I love seeing you on the throne because it shows confidence. Okay, all right, confidence is the word. Thank you. Yeah, confidence. Yeah, that does actually. Now that you think about it, hearing you blow to the toilet is super attractive. Attractive, really. I thought shit attractive. Shit is kind of like stinky. It stinks, you know. I've been to some fancy toilets where they put incense after there's like incense and there's soft music and shit. One of the richer guys in Hollywood that I knew had a Japanese self-flushing toilet. It was like an intelligent toilet that determined everything about your dump and shit. I don't know. But these videos are popular. They're not as popular as my DMT videos, but they are popular. So that's why I do them. I'm not. I'm neither proud nor am I repulsed by them. I'm just taking a dump, and people like it. So okay, I'll take more dumps. Um, some me, I used to I used to lurk at the I'm really I used to lurk at the I still do sometimes at the porn shops, the porn video shops. And when I was living in Germany, they had a whole shelf about caviar videos. Man, it was weird. It's like Germans really like their dumps. I was never attracted to those videos. It's like, okay. I mean, I watched one or two just to make sure that I was not attracted to it because that's the type of guy I am. But it was weird because it was a huge. Bad Urs is a German porn shop and kind of like a franchise that is in all over Germany. And it's a very elegant place. You can walk in there. There's usually, very nice counter people that are going to be very helpful to you and indicate you where you can go to get your fetish stuff. And I used to like to hang out there. It was just a fun place to hang out. Had a long trench coat always. I like long trench coats. I have one. I have a black one. It's too small for me right now. Too big. And I would go there with my long trench coat. I had and a khaki trench coat. It was khaki colored, a khaki colored trench coat. And I would go into the porn shops to look perverted and to feel perverted and to enjoy the perversity of my perversion. And I would find all these new fetishes in the videos. It was amazing. And one of them was a big shelf in Germany, particularly in Germany, of caviar videos. People shitting all over each other. It's bizarre. I never saw the attractive of it. I never understood what it was all about. Yeah. But that's what it was. It's another thing that I rally against is toilet paper. I think toilet paper is the worst thing that ever happened to Western society, besides nuclear weapons and the combustion engine. Toilet paper. Okay. Well, that is the end of the show. Thank you for coming and enjoying the poop with me. We'll see you in the next video. And if you like my poop videos, I would strongly recommend that you watch my Dungeons and Dragons videos and my DMT videos. And of course, like and subscribe and all that jazz. Because poo. Thank you, Tara, for coming in. Golden Hope Tara. Can I, before I go, what is that? Where does that? What is the meaning of that name? Where does that come from? Why did you choose that? It's an interesting name. I like that name. What's it all about? Going the answer for once, going the answer for twice. What's Golden Hope Terra all about? I'll wait for the answer. Oops. I'll wait for the answer. Take care. Oh, Robert, you're still there. Well, Golden Hope Terra doesn't want to tell me what it is. Oh, Terra is Latin. Yes, it is. Terra is the Latin word for Earth. So Golden Hope Earth. It's a nice name. My name is like the hope of the world. Okay, I love it. Fantastic. Here's to you. Thanks, guys, for coming. Robert, Tara, thanks for coming. See you next show. Bye.